Hello guys, you're welcome again to this class. Last class we talked about layer types, so today we're going to talk about the settings of the layer panel. So we have our demo scene open up. This is a very detailed demo project. I'm going to dive through quick tips for you. So the first thing is that to disable a layer, you enable this eyeball or disable it. That hides or reviews an object. Next up we have this option, which is to duplicate a layer, and that creates a duplicate of our layer. So you could see the trees were duplicated. Next up we have reference. The reference is different from duplicate because the reference creates a duplicate, okay? But then the reference still references the main layer. So whatever I do to my main layer also would affect the reference layer, and the reference layer always has this icon and the original one always has the red thing. So any layer that is being referenced with another layer is going to have this red. The red means that's the original layer, so take note of that. Next up we have delete. Obviously that deletes any object. Next up we have a cool option here, which is this timeline visibility. So every layer that is being animated has this option where you could see the keyframes for that layer. So if I have several objects selected and I want to see the timeline visibility for them, it could get quite cumbersome. But because I have this option here, I enable this timeline visibility. Even if I click something else, I will still have those options selected. So I can have several options and see the keyframes all at the same time. So that's quite handy. Just take note of that. Next up we have extra options. These options, you right click on the layer panel and then you see extra options. You can enable some of these. I've talked about this before now. You can enable comment. That simply gives you an extra tab to add a comment to a specific layer, okay? Next up we have tags, and these are just for tagging your layers, so later on you can highlight them. We're going to discuss this probably later on, but that's what that does. And all these other options are the same. We have almost all of them enabled. To disable, you just click it and it disables. You could also sort your layers depending on how you want to customize them. So you click this option. Once that's enabled, I can filter based on kind or any other thing. So let's say I filter kind by I only want bone layers. So I'm going to type in bone, and it shows me all the layers that are bones. Alright, click this again to disable the option, and then of course no filter. Okay, so that's the default filtering method. We also have layer comps, which is this option here. Layer comps can create different states of our layers. So let's say I will hide all the background layers. Okay, I can create a layer comp of this. I can call this background. Press OK. So let's say I were to enable the background elements later on and I want to disable them, I can just simply come over here and expose that layer comp, which is this, and they all be hidden again. So it's very interesting tool. Next up we have layer settings. Every layer can be adjusted in the settings. So you double tap the layer and it pops up the layer settings. There are a lot of features in this layer settings. We're going to go through some of this later on, but just know that there are a lot of tools in here that are very, very helpful. Okay. The last thing I'll talk about is layer visibility. So layers can be visible like we've seen before, which is this. but this is not really being animated. Okay, but in the layer settings, this option is for animation, so I could enable this, and that's going to hide the layer visibility. And then I come over here and then I press visible, apply. This is actually being animated, so in my timeline the character is going to be invisible for this period of time. You could see the keyframes here, or go to our sequencer and you see it visually. So there are two kinds. Just know that this is for animation, the other is not for animation, which is this. Okay, so in our next class we're going to look at the layer tools. So I'll see you next. Take care.